Welcome back to the PMV Profit channel, where price, momentum, and volume of course equals profit. My name is Brian, and by watching today's video, you're going to learn three things. First off is the biggest catalyst of the week comes out before the opening bell tomorrow. We need to be prepared for that, what to watch for, and understand the implications of that for the next couple of weeks. The second thing is we're going to do a bit of technical analysis school and talk about specifically the volume profile and how to use it to help set up your trades. And the third thing we're going to do is talk about a couple stocks in context of the volume profile and what it's telling us about setting up those trades on those specific stocks. So buckle up, a lot to talk about. Let's jump in. So the first thing is this catalyst for tomorrow, and it's the June jobs report. This usually comes out on Friday, but as you know, Friday the market is closed. It's a holiday this weekend here in the US. So we'll all be going through withdrawal, prepare for that on Friday when the market's closed. But to get there, we got to get past this June jobs report, which economists are expecting between 100 and 115,000 non-farm payroll adds to the month. They're expecting a 4.3% unemployment rate and a slight increase in the average hourly wage. Now, why this matters is because the Fed uses this number in interest rate decisions. And so we're at an interesting point where if that number comes in too hot tomorrow, it's going to yield the belief that we need to increase interest rates faster than expected. However, a number that comes in too soft is going to bring up this whole conversation again around the hard landing for the economy. So really we're at a point where we need a Goldilocks number. We got to thread the needle and get as close to that expectation number as possible. But here's the problem. I'm not smart enough to predict what this number is going to come in at tomorrow. That coupled with the fact that we have a short trading week and all these traders in Wall Street are going to be looking to exit as quickly as possible to get to wherever it is they're going, the Hamptons or whatever, this weekend. And so liquidity is going to dry up in the afternoon. But liquidity is going to dry up in the morning with this number too. So you're going to see wild fluctuations either way if this number comes in anything other than close to expectation. So because of that, cannot predict the jobs number, the increased volatility that tomorrow is going to produce. I'll be looking to exit my positions this afternoon, my short-term positions. The long-term ones I'll leave on, but the short-term positions I'll be looking to exit this afternoon. Okay, let's pivot the conversation a second and talk about the fixed price volume profile. And let me do this with a visual. I know this visual is a bit overwhelming, so let me deconstruct it and simplify it for you. So the fixed range volume profile is a powerful technical analysis tool that allows you to analyze trading activity at specific price levels over a defined time period. So unlike standard volume, which you see at the bottom of this visual that indicates volume over time, the fixed range volume profile plots a horizontal histogram on the chart to reveal where the most and least trading volume occurred within a specific time range that you select. Okay, so the first thing we do is open up in TradingView our chart, daily or weekly, and we define our support and resistance areas. And then we add in our volume profile. And once we do that, then we're looking for three specific things in the volume profile. The first, and it's represented here with a range, is our point of control. It's different in TradingView, and I'll show you that here in a second. But this is the price level with the highest traded volume within that selected range. It often acts as a significant magnet or a pivot point for future price action. It is the point that institutions, if you will, their average price, an approximation, of course, it's not exact, but you can assume it's about that. And that's the point that needs to be defended by institutions. The second thing we're looking for is peaks in the histogram where trading activity was extremely high. And these levels often represent areas of strong support or strong resistance because both buyers and sellers were active there. And that's why we define our resistance and support levels before adding in the volume profile, because we want these volume nodes, these high volume nodes, to confirm or deny, but we look for it to confirm those support and resistance areas. Then the next thing we look at is the valleys. So these low volume nodes or thin areas in the histogram where trading activity was low and prices often move very quickly through those zones because there's little interest or value at those specific levels. Why this is such a powerful tool is because your typical volume at the bottom of your chart tells you when an asset got interest, but your volume profile tells you where an asset got interest. So now let's jump over to TradingView and look at this with some specific charts. And let's start with SpaceX. Okay, so let's start with talking about SpaceX. And this is the daily chart of SpaceX. And as you can see on the bottom, volume has been decreasing steadily since its IPO. On the left, I've set up the volume profile, which shows by this black line here, the point of control, which is just under 160. It's about, well, it's about 159, I guess. You can see today's action, and I'll zoom in on this so you can see it more clearly. The wick down and just kissed that point of control. You can see institutions in real time defending that point of control. Below the point of control, you have some fairly high volume nodes all the way down to its IPO price of just under 150 or about 150. And then going up, you see it all the way up to about the $173 area. I would not be interested in, I'm not interested in buying SpaceX regardless, but I wouldn't be interested in it until I see a kick over 173, that high volume node, and to get through this noise, assuming that point of control continues to be defended. Above 173, it gets pretty thin trading all the way up to what was its high of about 225. What we don't want to see is a breakdown below that point of control. We want to see institutions continue to defend that. And ultimately, we don't want to see a breakdown below these volume nodes, indicating a new all-time low for SpaceX. Now, the next one I want to talk about is Intel. So Intel has been, is one that if you've watched previous videos, you know that I believe this is going to 200 this summer. I think Intel is in a sweet spot right now and is going north. Okay, so here's the volume profile, and you can see the point of control is about 118, and you can see how it's acted as both support and resistance on the daily over the last, let's say, 2 months or so, breaking down below that on the 29th of May, coming down and hitting what is clearly support of around 100, and then breaking back, and now it's starting to retest that point of control. You can see institutions, even though support is around 125, you can see institutions are clearly defending that point of control. As a result, around 118 is where I would be a buyer for the long-term position. A break above 141, which we almost got yesterday, would indicate to me that it's going higher. Now, the other thing to call your attention to is it's sitting right now at as I record this at about 1:30, well, about 11:30 on Wednesday morning. But $130 is a large volume node. How it interacts with that is very important. We want to see it defend that, ultimately defend support, and then ultimately defend the point of control. Point of control is a place to acquire shares or a break above 141. Now let's talk about two small caps. I gave Butterfly Network in a video earlier in the week on AI healthcare stocks. This had a beautiful run 2 weeks ago, beautiful pop and run, and is now consolidating a little bit. But why I told you that the other three that I gave you was more interesting to me than Butterfly right here is mainly because of the point of control. Look how far down below the current stock price. The point of control is at about $5.40 with some very thin absent trading, a significant gap in there as well. So that is the main reason, because as I said earlier, the point of control can act as a magnet. I don't want to be acquiring shares in here because it's quite frankly way too far extended over its point of control. You know, the last thing to share with you is this also works with the major averages or ETFs or whatnot. This is the Q's daily chart I have in front of you. And look at the point of control is about 708 and change, about just right on 708. And look how nicely that was defended late last week and earlier this week by institutions. And then, of course, it ripped up this week so far and is maintaining above the 9 EMA. The main support resistance level that I've been talking about on this channel for a while with the Qs is the 720 number. A breakdown below that, though, we want to continue to see that point of control defended. However, with a move above and a sustained move today above the 9 EMA, I suspect that won't be an issue. But it's good to use this on the averages as well, because again, it can act as a magnet and pull it back down towards that. And you always want to see in either direction the point of control defended by the institutions. I hope that sort of demystifies this volume profile tool and how to use it better to set up your trades. I hope you got value out of this. If you did, please consider subscribing and turning on those notifications. Of course, I hope you have a great rest of your trading day, great rest of your trading week. Of course, by great, I mean profitable, and I will see you in the next one.